Welcome back to Newark Academy's Coaches Corner. We're here today with our head varsity tennis coach, Coach Scerra. Coach, welcome to Coaches Corner.
It's an honor to be here, Coach. Thanks for having me.
You are coaching both boys and girls varsity tennis. But my first question for you is, where did you begin your coaching career and why did you become a coach?
So I began my coaching career teaching tennis to 6, 7, and 8-year-olds. And I was in high school like a lot of our players are now, which was, with all due respect to Newark Academy, probably the best job I've ever had. Afternoons, feeding tennis balls to kids with tons of energy, tons of excitement, all the chicken fingers you could eat at the snack bar, not a bad hourly wage. So that's where I started. But this is my 12th year coaching tennis at NA. Why I became a coach: I mean, I love sports of all kinds. My students and the players on my team know that. And you know, the bigger, broader piece is that I've sort of dedicated my life to helping other people grow. And so coaching seems like a natural fit and part of who I am.
Have there been mentors along the way? Maybe have modeled parts of your coaching style after?
Yeah, so spent almost a decade coaching with Archie Crook, who was a brilliant coach and the Newark Academy tennis coach for decades here, who really built the NA tennis program, and the school owes a lot to all of his hard work. We have very different styles. We share a common belief in terms of team first mentality and honestly an interest in sports psychology. We always agreed with we were almost always in agreement with on-court decisions and strategy. Just sometimes his approach and my approach be different, but we complemented each other well. More broadly, I mean, I guess I'd think to sort of professional coaches that obviously I don't know particularly well, but those I admire. People like Greg Popovich or Jurgen Klopp, those are names that those are people who sort of believe in perpetual growth and also understand the primacy of relationships. I mean, relationships are so central to what we do as coaches. And so those are folks that I look to as inspiration and with admiration.
So, Coach, we've spoken about the coaching piece of this. Tell me what you look for in your ideal student athlete.
So for fear of being repetitive, I mean, commitment to a growth mindset and like willing to work hard to get there is at the top of the list. We're lucky that we have so many talented tennis players who come into our program, but those who are team first, who see tennis as a team sport, and those who are ready to work to continue to grow. And when I say grow, I mean grow in sort of all the dimensions of tennis. So mentally, physically, tactically, technically, if you're willing to do all that work, then I think you'll be a great part of our program. Talent doesn't hurt either, Coach. We're always looking for talented tennis players, but team first mentality is something we pride ourselves on. It's a big part of who we are.
Tell me a little bit about team tennis. So often people will think about tennis being sort of a sport that you play on your own or maybe with one other person. Tell us a little bit about team tennis and how that fits the whole Newark Academy.
Yeah, philosophy. So I mean, it's funny, right? Growing up, same thing. I played tennis growing up, and you'd march off to a tournament and you'd play your tournament, and your parent would drive you, or you'd go to your private lessons or your clinics, and it was very much thought of as an individual sport. And there's a part of tennis that's a beautiful part of tennis, the sort of one-on-one psychological battle. But playing tennis for a team is just sort of a different experience entirely, right? And part of what we try to do at NA is recognize that when you play for something that's bigger than yourself, there's sort of more at stake. And we think that that's what happens when you join NA tennis, right? You're concerned about the players who are on either side of the court from you. You're looking to make them better, right? You want to drive yourself over the course of your entire season to make those around you better and to make yourself better. Player after player, after 12 years of being involved with the tennis program, recognize that it's just different when you have NA on your chest and you're wearing red and black, and you recognize that your actions have an impact on the people around you. So I think that's part of it is just the shift, right? The shift, the paradigm shift for those who've thought for a long time, this is a sport that's just about me, to what happens when it's not just about me and it's about us. And so that's where the we greater than me thing came from the outset. And it's just a big part of who we are. And it defines what we do, from practice to communicate with one another to how we conduct ourselves on the court and off the court as well.
How has your program been impacted by, and how has it handled the difficulties and complexities that have been 2020 and that we've still got to come in 21?
So it's been a challenging time, right? I mean, I've just been appreciative, first of all, of your work and the work of the school. We've had the chance to still connect and do a lot of the things that we would normally do, even when we've not been able to be on the court together. In the spring, the boys still connected. We had team meetings a couple times a week. We worked out with Coach Guerrero, who supported us. We reconnected with alums. We only had 3 practices, and then we basically had a virtual season, right, last spring. But the chance to connect with former captains, former state singles champions, people who now play college tennis and beyond, was inspiring, not just for the coaching staff, but also for all of the players, to hear from those folks and recognize that we can learn something from them and they can help us grow. I mean, it was at some point we'll have to find a way to put that online, coach, because to hear people who are now in their 30s and 40s talk about NA tennis and how it changed who they were as tennis players, who they are as people, who they are as fathers. I mean, that's just inspiring to all of us. And I think our guys really enjoyed it. That said, they are looking forward to getting back on the courts, hopefully in March. The girls were brilliant. I mean, new protocols, tons of challenges, canceled matches, and yet they really came together as a team. I mean, there are bigger things in tennis right now, but honestly, I couldn't be more proud of the way that our program really fought through it and continues to try to make sure that we connect and love what we're doing, even if we can't do it in quite the same way.
Why should a prospective student athlete join Newark Academy?
Since I'm an administrator and a teacher and a coach, I feel like I get to sort of see the 360-degree view of this place. I mean, it's a chance for you to have the best of both worlds. You can have an outstanding academic experience that pushes you. You can compete with wonderful, talented athletes who want to play with you and make you better. I mean, it's a school where you can grow as a player, you grow as a student, and you grow as a person. So if you can do all of those things and have a sort of transformational experience at one school, why wouldn't you want to take that opportunity?
This is our last official question, Coach. What piece of advice would you give to a young coach that's just starting their career?
I would like to just first get on the record that I feel like I'm a young coach, youngish, youthful. Maybe we can sign up for youthful. I'm showing my hand again, but great coaching is like great teaching. So it starts with relationships and trust. I mean, if you care about the people that you coach and you tell them that you care about them, then they're usually on board for just about anything, right? And it's a two-way street. And then the other thing, I was talking about this with one of our other coaches 2 days ago, one of our other NA coaches, get better every day is something we say on the tennis court all the time, right? What you can control is getting better between now and 90 minutes from now, whether it's a match or a practice. And I have that attitude, and the rest of our coaches in the tennis program have that attitude too, as well. I mean, just keep learning, right? Keep learning, keep getting better. My goal is to get better as a coach in all of the dimensions of coaching. And if you can do that and you have a commitment to your own personal growth, then I think that goes a long way as well.
Coach Scerra, last word. It's all yours.
Just a thank you. I mean, a thank you. It's an honor and a privilege to be a part of NA tennis and to have connections with all the different people, still in contact with players, former coaches, other coaches around the area. And then just gratitude and appreciation for Newark Academy. I mean, Coach Amosa, you've brought new energy to this place, and I'm appreciative of this. And these sorts of conversations and interviews, I think, bring some attention to what we do on a daily basis. So I just end with some gratitude and look forward to seeing everybody out on the tennis courts at some point soon.